Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you notice, it looks a little different here. I moved the studio. It's a little bit echoey down here, but hopefully I can take care of that. It's not bad. I'm liking it so far. But topic of discussion today, little fun video. Really, that's all it is. I can't really see how anybody's actually gonna find like any like legitimate value in this video. It's basically me just ranting about random stuff. I don't know. Maybe you can find something value here. We're gonna go over a couple different trails and stuff. Just my thoughts on some of these trails that have kind of been on the list, but really far down the list, and why I haven't done them yet. Some of these are in really close proximity to my house, or the same proximity as other trails, and I've been to other ones like 3, 4, or 5 times. Never have gone to some of these places. So I'm going to go over, I think 3, 4, or 5-ish backpacking trails that I have no desire in hiking. And honestly, that's not really even true, because some of these I actually do want to go do. It's just some of the reasons why I haven't yet done them, and why I've gone to these other places multiple times instead of going to do these other trails. So number 1 trail on my list that I don't want to hike, and this is one that I don't really care if I go hike it. I guess if I really am looking to do something new, I will go do this one. It's in my home state of Ohio. I've done literally almost every backpacking trail or loop that you can do in this state. This one I've just kind of avoided because it's just never appealed to me, and that is Tar Hollow. So it's about the same distance to get there as it is multiple other places for me. Other trails have a lot more accommodations as far as camping go. I think the basic layout of this trail is you have like a north loop and a south loop. It's like a figure 8 style trail. You're only allowed camping in a group campground, I believe. I mean, honestly, it's been a while since I've even looked at this, so I could be completely wrong. But there's like one camping area, and it's like by a lake or a pond, which kind of sounds cool. But the whole group camping thing, I don't know, that really doesn't appeal to me. And honestly, like a figure 8 trail in general, like I don't want to start where I'm going to be sleeping that night and then like loop back around the next day. Like I don't like out and backs. I don't like retracing my steps. I like a trail, I like loops specifically, or point to points, because I like to always be making like forward progress. I don't like looping back around, and honestly, I'm not like a base camp day hiker kind of guy. I just like going far distances with my pack, as far as I can get away from the car, and then returning back to my car. I don't like the whole figure 8 idea of Tar Hollow. Just, I don't know. I'll probably go do it one of these days, but it is just not really that appealing to me. I've heard mixed reviews on the trail itself. Really, really muddy and crappy in inclement weather. It's like super wide, like ATV style trails, or just not like the good, like, you know, well-defined like single track that I really prefer. I don't know. I've looked at it for years on the Ohio backpacking website, and I don't know. Maybe someday. Number 2 on the list. This one's gonna trigger some people. All right, okay, hear me out. This is one, it kind of really shouldn't be on this list, because I do want to go do this trail. So this is like one of the exceptions. I want to do it, although it always moves its way down the list. Every time it gets closer to the top of the list, I just peg it back down and down and down. It's crazy because I've heard so many good things about this trail. I don't know if I'm going to be able to even put into words why I haven't yet done it, or why I don't really want to, but that is Laurel Highlands Trail. So the Laurel Highlands is like a 70-mile point-to-point trail in Pennsylvania. You rent these shelters, or you don't have to. You can, as long as you stay by the shelter. I think you have to camp at those areas. You can tent camp, but you rent these shelters, you have to reserve them, you have to do a shuttle service. Basically, the thing that turns me away from Laurel Highlands. I've watched a lot of videos of the area, and it really doesn't look much different than anything that I have locally to me. I guess I could say Laurel Highlands is kind of local. It's really not far from me at all. It just doesn't look that great in videos. I know there's like one lookout that it's in every video that you can see where the train comes down through and stuff. and it's like a pretty cool view actually, and there's some like pretty cool rock outcroppings and stuff. But other than that, pretty basic trail from what I've heard. The things that really turn me away are it's Rocksylvania. Pennsylvania has like just tons and tons of like the most inconvenient sized rocks that you have to walk on. It looks like it's a pretty intense trail on the ankles and stuff. So walking on rocks, rocky trails are not always the funnest. Man, I've had a lot of bad experiences on really rocky areas like that. Point-to-point trails, not a bad thing for me. Like I said, I like point-to-point. Definitely takes a little bit more logistically to plan. You got to schedule these out. You have to pay permits or whatever to use the shelters and pay for a shuttle service. Not a deal breaker. I'm always the kind of guy that's like, I think I'm going to go this weekend, and then I might like back out and then change my mind like 2, 3, 4 times before I actually go. And I'm not gonna lie, there's been at least 3 or 4 backpacking trips that I've went on, like just solos, where I woke up in the morning and did not know where I was going to go. Don't recommend it. I mean, I've been to these areas enough that I knew where I was gonna go. I've been there, so I have maps and I know the area, so it's like not putting myself in real danger. Being somebody that kind of does solo trips on a whim like that, I can't just go and do Laurel Highlands on a whim without actually doing some logistical planning. Once again, group camping, not my favorite thing. Shelters are pretty cool. I think maybe doing it in like an off season, like kind of a colder wintry season, would be kind of cool, because I like solitude. I like meeting new people, but I don't know, I guess I get kind of anxious at first. Like, you don't really know if you come up to a shelter, like if they're going to be cool with you staying there with them, or if they were expecting to be alone and you're crashing their party. Like, I don't want to be that guy. So Laurel Highlands sounds cool because it's a 70-mile trail. The longer the better for me. In this area where I'm at, within a like 4 or 5 hour drive, there's not a lot of really long trails. There's not a lot of ones that are over like 40 miles that I can do multi-day trips on. So that's cool. That's in its favor. Like I said, I mean, I know this probably shouldn't be on the list, but for some reason it just keeps moving its way down the list. It just hasn't been done yet. And one of these days I'm going to go do it. Number 3 on the list, and this is one I get asked all the time, is if I'm going to hike the Buckeye Trail. 2,000 miles in beautiful Ohio. Don't get me wrong, honestly, I like Ohio backpacking. Where I'm located in Ohio is not the flat section. I'm on the east side, so we actually have like the rolling hills of the Appalachian Mountain Range over here, and I'm thankful for all the trails that I have at my disposal. There's actually a trail, or a network of trails that I trail run pretty much like weekly, as of now at least. And the Buckeye Trail runs through that area. Oh, dude, okay. So everybody asks me if I want to hike the Buckeye Trail. And I cannot imagine, number one, spending 6 months through hiking a trail in Ohio. Like, I don't even know if there's like any record of people ever actually doing that. Doing some sections in the Buckeye Trail, I would definitely be down for that. But as far as doing the whole thing, I mean, it's as long, maybe a little bit longer than like the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. Like, there is no comparison. And some of the sections I've seen, like where the Buckeye Trail runs through literally 10 minutes away from my house, dude, it's so overgrown. Some sections of the Buckeye Trail probably get like 0 traffic. At least the ones like out by me, because I kind of live out like kind of in the middle of nowhere. Just completely overgrown. Like, I'm talking in the off season, like overgrown. Like, I don't even know what that's going to look like in the summer. Just like completely overgrown, just nasty, tick heaven. No way. There's some cool sections, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure there's some really beautiful sections. Doing the whole thing, definitely a no-go. Number 4 and the last one, not a local one on this one. We're gonna go way down south, and that is the Florida Trail. Okay, everybody's jaw just dropped on that one. I hear so many good things about the Florida Trail, And it's one of those ones that doesn't really appeal to me. I know my buddy on YouTube here, Jason Wish, he just went down and did it. Watched his videos, really good videos, by the way. And he did 2 different sections. It looked cool, but what turns me away, number one, is Florida is so stinking hot. It's pretty muggy. Definitely would have to pick the right time of year to do that trail. But the thing that turns me away the most is elevation. Like, there's no elevation or next to no elevation on that trail. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that just sounds boring. Like, that does not sound good. I mean, you'd probably bank out pretty good miles and stuff, but I like mountains. I don't even live by like real mountains. Like, we have some decent hills, and hills are cool too, but I just want some ups and downs. Like, I like terrain. Like in Jason's video, a lot of the trees and the vegetation, that'd be really cool. It's a lot different than up north where I'm from. It'd be cool to see something new and to see some of the wildlife and stuff that I'm not used to. I've heard stories about the Florida Trail that just sound horrible, like miles and miles, like days of walking in water. That doesn't sound fun to me. When I went down and did the Virginia Triple Crown a couple weeks ago, I was actually talking to Patch, through hiker. He did the AT, PCT, Long Trail, Florida Trail, and I was really asking him about the Florida Trail because I was really curious as to what the drive is for people to go there, because for me it just sounded a little boring, a little flat. I mean, alligators and bears. I mean, that'd actually be cool. I'd actually like to see like backpacking alligators. Let me think. But he was telling me like just how beautiful the area was, and one of my questions was like, dude, days on end all day long, like how do you deal with your feet? And he was just explaining to me like every chance you get, every time you stop, every lunch break, when you get done hiking for the day, you got to dry out your feet. You got to take your shoes off, dry that stuff out, do whatever care you need to address any wounds, and you basically just have to address your feet at every waking moment that you get when you're in water all day long like that. Florida Trail, it sounds kind of cool, honestly. But for as far as it is to get there, for me personally, I probably fly. And if I'm going to fly somewhere, it's probably not going to be to do the Florida Trail. But that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot of value given to you guys on this. Just my insight on, when I'm planning backpacking trips, just some trails that are on the list just might never happen. They just stay down low. But yeah, a little update on my Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. I think I might have had the valve like not pushed down all the way. It's like a 2 or 3 piece valve, and the first piece you have to really seat down in the sleeping pad. I'm wondering if I didn't have it seated down all the way. So I kept blowing it up, but if that part wasn't down all the way, it would have kept leaking. Because it was leaking like very, very badly. I'm going to do some tests on it. I was actually going to make a video on that sleeping pad, but I have to find that leak. I have to figure out what's going on before I do that, because I know you guys have been asking about it. The amount of comments I got about that, I'm not the only one that has a Nemo Tensor that is leaking. So if you're thinking about buying one of those, all I can say is do some research, and don't pull that trigger yet. I can't speak for everybody, but I have had several comments and people reaching out to me personally, telling me like, dude, they're just bad. They're all bad. I've bought 3-4 of them. They just keep getting holes in them, or they have holes in them from the factory. So that's going to be an upcoming video. That might be the next video after this. I don't know. I mean, I love the pad, but yeah, that's just a little precursor into that video. But that's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell beside it so I can notify you when I upload new content. And yeah, that's going to do it, I think. So from the new studio, thank you guys once again, and I'll see you in the next one.